Jim Jones just said one of the most delusional things I've ever heard a rapper say. So recently, Jim Jones went on the podcast No Rap Cap, and they asked him a bunch of questions, you know, typical interview style. But a clip went super viral recently talking about how Jim Jones thinks he's the reason why Kid Cudi is known. So without further ado, let's see his reaction and we'll get into the other things later on in the video. But before that, make sure you guys leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel.
Nigga, remix this right here. Night in, what it was, day and night? Day and night.
That was one of the biggest.
Nigga, you remixed that. I said, I didn't know that shit.
That's how y'all know Kid Cudi. You wouldn't have never known Kid Cudi if I didn't remix the record in New York City. I made that.
Okay, I know a lot of people outside of New York probably don't know that Jim Jones did remix Day and Night, and we'll react to that. Just wait 1 second before we get into that. But let's just keep going before I get really into this, because this really pissed me off.
The biggest record in New York City. It wasn't Kid Cudi. Nobody knew who Kid Cudi was. Kid Cudi became about because he had video directors that I wanted them to do a video, and I asked them to show me a video they did before, and they showed me this kid on top of a roof with a record called Day and Night. Right. He worked in the store under the label. It was nobody. I was like, oh, yo, did this? I said, I like the record.
Okay, that could be all fair. True, right? Kid Cudi before 2008 wasn't this super megastar rapper. Like, he was underground, he was working at the Bape store in New York and all these kind of things. But Jim Jones hearing Day and Night, probably after it was blowing up on MySpace, because at that time YouTube and MySpace weren't like the biggest things, but MySpace for sure was the biggest social media platform, and it blew up on there. I'm fairly old enough to remember going on MySpace and hearing songs blow up on people's profile and all these things. And I do remember the discourse about Day and Night. It was one of the first big songs of Gen Z in terms of like people gravitating towards it. It sounds different from the bling diplomat sound, you know, that New York style. So I didn't really grow up in New York. I grew up from Cali. I'm from California. So I can't really speak on how it impacted New Yorkers in terms of that individual song. But for the rest of the US, Day and Night is never attributed to its success to Jim Jones. Never once in a bit. This is the delusion of New Yorkers, which a lot of people respect. A lot of people like the confidence, the braggadocious, the cockiness that a lot of New Yorkers have of talking their shit. A lot of people take inspiration from that. And I'm not trying to take anything away from Jim Jones's own music or his own career. He's done a lot of things, a lot of great music, all these different things. But to come out of nowhere and try to claim credit for somebody else's success when he only had himself to like make it in music, like it wasn't until Kanye and like maybe other people in good music that helped Kid Cudi grow after that. But the initial start, it's all Kid Cudi. So let's see what else he has to say.
Get the beat of the record. I want to do a remix. If you give me the beat of the record, I'll let y'all shoot my video. These kids was trying to shoot a video for free for me. Oh. Like, I got the beat. I told them they went crazy. You wanted to do it. I got the beat. I shot the video to the beat, and I never even put the shit out. They put it up on YouTube. They ripped it off of YouTube, and it became the biggest record in New York City.
Okay. Now, you hear talking about it being the biggest record, right? So, let's see how good the song is, right? Let's see how good Jim Jones is Day and Night.
Jones, we born to die, for real. So I get high just like I'm born to fly to the moon. I'm in the court with marijuana eyes. Sorry, Josh. We hit the clubs until the morning rise. Cause of last night.
Need I say any more? Need I say anything more? Do you hear the lack of soul in it? Listen to Kid Cudi's Day and Night and listen to this, and this just sounds lazy. It sounds stripped of anything. It sounds skinny. There's no fat on the meat. It just sounds so like, what? You're telling me New Yorkers fucked with this? I don't want to hear ever any New Yorker who really liked this song versus the Kid Cudi song. I don't want to hear your music opinions ever again, because this is ass. This is complete trash. Complete garbage. I can't imagine this being big The only reason why I can imagine it having any attention towards it is because of Jim Jones. Jim Jones was a name in New York in the music and the rap game for sure, especially during that time, 2007. You know, he had a name. But to say that this is what people said, oh yeah, Jim Jones killed it, better than the original. Huh?
Cause day and night, we run the streets, hope I don't pay that price.
Okay, I can't listen to any more of this. Forget the chorus. Jim Jones are delusional. So that's all there is to say. But Kid Cudi came out and responded to this. So let's see if Kid Cudi sets him straight, because people got to stop playing with Cudi's name. Like, Cudi is a legend in hip hop. He has classic albums. He, in my opinion, is more important to hip hop than Jim Jones. Maybe not to New York hip hop. That's a different story. But to hip hop as a whole, to music as a whole, Kid Cudi's music is far above Jim Jones. And that's just my opinion.
Oh man, so starting my day, and I see something online that I have to address, right?
Talk your shit, Cudi.
So Jim Jones,
Mr. Rager, I want you to rage right now.
first
Jim.
off, we love Jim Jones, right? Like, I grew up on Jimmy. Like, he's the homie. I met him when I was coming up. He was cool, right? Jimmy, I'm gonna address you directly, my nigga.
It is. Get to it.
You talking about how you are responsible for my success
Hell no.
is a lie.
Facts.
You need to stop lying to people. You get on your little podcast
Facts.
and you start gossiping.
That's another thing. All these old rappers, Jadakiss, Fat Joe, the Jim Jones, they need to stop with making podcasts. Go back to making good music. I'm sorry that you guys don't know how to evolve as rappers. That's the problem with these artists now that are making podcasts and or like straying away from rap and trying to get into content creation, is because one, they see the attention is in content creation. Two, it's not as like artistically draining on you to be a content creator when you have a name. So it's an easy pivot, but they're not interesting like talkers, entertainers in terms of like speech. They're just going off their name and the stories of their old, rap days. They need to go back in the booth and try some new shit and not be afraid to experiment. That's why they're no longer in the game, because they couldn't adapt with the times. I'm sorry to say, but there's a reason why the legends can always come back and put out good music, because they grow, they evolve. Those artists are stun locked to whatever era that they were at their peak, and they never progressed after that.
And talking shit, and everybody on your podcast don't know the truth. So they all agreeing with you. But if you look under the comments under that post, you'll see people are letting you know what time it is.
Facts.
This is part one. I got more to say.
I want to know who agrees with Jim Jones. Is there anybody out there who says Jim Jones made Kid Cudi? The only people I can attribute Kid Cudi's success in there be a valid argument is Kanye, is Ye. He's the only person that I can say gave Kid Cudi a major platform to present his style, his music, his humming to the world for people to say, who is that guy? I want to check this out. Have you listened to 808s? In 808s, I would say influenced Kanye probably more than Kid Cudi, or was influenced, or I don't want to say that. Kid Cudi is maybe influenced by Ye a lot too, but they were both beneficial to each other. Jim Jones up? Fuck out of here.
Day and Night was already a hit record.
Facts.
Before you touched it, my nigga. I put it on my MySpace, it blew up. Okay?
What did I say?
I had an entire mixtape. I was on my way. Motown was courting me. Kanye wanted to sign me. All because of Day and Night, because I put it on my MySpace and it blew up, my nigga.
See?
It blew up. I can promise you that Sylvia Rhone did not listen to your remix and say she wanted to sign me. That is not why I have a record deal, bro.
That remix was trash. If anything, that might have hurt Kid Cudi's chances at becoming big. They might be like, what the fuck? I don't want to hear. I don't want this. What?
Nothing you're talking about is the truth.
Facts.
How do you think I had a music video? I was shooting the music video I was already on. You saw a hit record and jumped on it, my nigga. Like,
Facts.
you didn't make me, man. You didn't make me. So, like, you got to stop telling these tales, my nigga.
And you know the reason why he says you have to stop as if this isn't the first time? It's because it's not. Jim Jones has been on record saying this to multiple occasions where he says that he's the reason for Kid Cudi's success. And at that point, that's some just New York confidence. Maybe not even New York. Maybe that's just a Jim Jones thing of just like claiming credit that you might not deserve. But if it's on the table, I'm going to claim it anyways. Like nobody else is saying it, so I'm going to say it. And if it sparks controversy, that's my opinion. So what? You know, suck a dick, whatever they say out there. But yeah, you know, I just can't.
Like, you got to stop.
Can't co-sign that.
I want to shout out everybody that's been in the comments letting this nigga know what the truth is.
Facts.
You know, but it's crazy how people just be trying to like take credit for my success. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's wild, you know? Like, and I like Jimmy, man. It kind of breaks my heart to hear him on here trying to take credit for something that he's not a part of.
And the reason why that is because Jim Jones is trying to pivot to be a content creator. He's done streams. He's gone on people's platform live streaming. He's made videos and things of this nature and things like that. He's trying to be a content creator, and he's trying to clip farm. He's trying to get controversy surrounding his name to get people's attention and all these different things. It's, you know, it's a time old as, you know, time, whatever. A tale old as time, whatever. So I'm not really surprised. Jim Jones is cool. His music is good. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not going to sit here and really lose, you know, cortisol or lose chromosomes or whatever to engage with that type of argument.
You know what I mean? You jumped on my shit. I didn't ask you to do that. You know? And granted, they played it on Hot 97 every day, and it was a thing on Hot 97 on the radio. Mm-hmm. But I was an international artist from jump.
Facts.
Like, I had the world, my nigga.
That's one thing I will say. Kid Cudi had one of the fastest ascension to mainstream popularity in terms of when his first hit song blew up and where it went to after. Like, he's one of the fastest I've ever seen. Him and Drake, and it's funny because they came out around the same time. Fastest ascension. And it's, you know why? People were so tired of the braggadocious kind of bling era of music, predominantly New York, you know, centered music, that they wanted something relatable. They wanted something the average consumer of music, not just being from the hood, not just having the aspirations of a, you know, hood fairy tale of, you know, making it big and big cars and bling and all that kind of shit. They wanted something that they're going through at this moment. Kid Cudi was going through a lot, mentally, physically, financially, and it transferred into his music beautifully. So many people gravitated to him so quickly. Same with Drake. He had a lot of emotions in his music. People called them soft. People said they were like sad all the time. They were like depressed and all these different things. But even in your Day and Night remix, Jim Jones, you mentioned how a recession just hit. A lot of people were suffering. Nobody wanted to hear you guys brag about gold chains that are probably fake diamonds anyway. I just don't understand why you come out and say these lies.
Like, I don't understand. I really don't understand. But I'm going to address this now. You know what I'm saying? Like, no more tales, my nigga. You ain't had nothing to do with this.
Facts.
So
Straight
yeah,
out,
man.
plain simple.
Just wanted to address that, you know.
Okay, so Kid Cudi said it straight. Jim Jones did not have anything to do with his, you know, his rise to fame, his success story. Jim Jones is not a chapter in Kid Cudi's story. It's a blimp in an episode. It's a few seconds in a documentary, if anything. Just like, yo, I had rappers hitting me up. Everybody wanted to be a part of it. You know, he was on stage with Jay-Z at the time. You think Jim Jones is a bigger cosign than Jay-Z and Kanye? and Steve Aoki in the EDM. Well, that would come later, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, come on, like this is just trying to get your name. This is clickbaiting. This is clout chasing. This is whatever it is. And it's funny because Kid Cudi doesn't even put his name out there. He doesn't really get involved with a lot of people. He just put out a memoir, which I'm gonna check out. I want to hear Kid Cudi's story from himself. I want to hear it. So, and apparently there's a soundtrack that goes along with it. So I'm excited for that. I'm obviously a big Kid Cudi fan. I like his music a lot. I even like Speeding Bullet to Heaven, even though a lot of people hate that, but that's a different story for another day. Jim Jones, just stop it. Just go tell your diplomat stories. Tell us the stories about you and Cameron and all this thing. The things that people really want to know from you, not your opinions about who you put on and all this stuff. Who's he gonna say next? You know, who's he gonna say, oh, I put on Young Thug. If it wasn't for diplomats, Young Thug wouldn't be popping. Like, I don't know. Like, he's just gonna mention somebody that is just like, huh? Like, what are you talking about? So, you guys let me know. Do you guys think Jim Jones is right? Do you think Kid Cudi is right? Let me know your guys' opinions in the comment section down below. And what other videos you guys want me to check out. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel.